Hi everyone, it's Artist from Encounty, and today we're starting a new job. It's gonna be a wardrobe with sliding doors, which we have done a while ago. This time they are gonna use different track system because the previous one I didn't really like. It was metal rather than aluminium. The only problem what you're gonna have was this sort of width. You're not going to be able to get a one-piece rail, so we're going to have to join it, and we're going to make join in the middle because this is like 4.2 meters. The longest I have found is 3.6, where on a previous job it worked for us because that was 3.54 or something, so we just managed to get in one piece, but this one would be slightly different. So we work together, we see how it all goes, because obviously the main thing is to get them run smoothly and join nicely. So I've got a few thoughts of how we can do it. So yeah, today we start cutting. It's our first day, so you can see we've got materials in, so yeah, we'll start cutting soon, and hope you enjoy it, and we'll catch up in the next video. Hi everyone, it's Artist from Encounty, down there. So, just an update. If you remember, when we last time did these sliding door wardrobes, we bought some gadgets to parallel cut the sheets, if you remember. I've scribbled it out because it did work, but not for long. Unfortunately, these pieces which you see here, they are now made in billet aluminium, where before they were done in this sort of plastic, 3D printed plastic. So the problem with that was when the weather started getting colder, it shrunk, so you could move it nicely on the rail. The idea of this concept is not bad because you can get it parallel cut, which is halfway of getting your units cut square, because if it's not parallel and your square is square, you're still not going to have a good cut, because obviously your sides are wider one side than the other side. So also what we had to do, if you remember, we bought like a jig, can you call it jig? Yeah. Jig. Attachment. Yeah. Attachment for the rail, which went straight in a skip. If you remember in last video, we were cutting panels which were a meter or so wide for the doors, so it clicked in here, if you remember, and that didn't work very well, so we lost a day or so on a job that time. So what we have done, we've got also squares made for us in aluminium, which is, well, they're here. So it's a bespoke one, and those were bespoke. It's not cheap, but I suppose you do once, and that gives you the parallel cuts, because obviously in the joinery it's fairly straightforward. You got a big saw and you run it through and it's all parallel and all nice, but when you're like mobile workshop, which we got, then it's very crucial to get that parallel cut every time. And these, as you can see here, they got numbers, so it's all set up. So that's the cut we make, so we adjust it accordingly to the size we need to cut. We set it here. Only thing I would say, you need to do sheets individually. Then you cut one edge and then you put it on the side, and then you put these on, which slides on here in the groove, and they tighten to the rail. Then you set your measurement, and then you can cut all your parts the right width you want it. So seems to be working okay. And obviously when you've got square units, it's a lot easier to fit in a position, less messing about. Same for doors. Your doors are square, everything is square, and you know, just less making good as you go basically. So yeah, I thought I'd give you a heads up on that, because we had it for a while, but we just tested it lately because we had to get some screws and some bits and bobs so we can actually use it. But yeah, it does work. So these bars were bought on eBay, but that obviously you're gonna have to find a place where they can make them for you out of the alley or whatever metal you want to make it out. So I opted for alley, billet alley, but you can also use whatever you want. Also, the good thing is it doesn't move. It doesn't matter what temperature it's doing outside. It just stays and it slides nicely, and you know, you don't have that problem with what you had with the plastic. It did work, I must say, but also the problem with that was it was weak point here, so it would crack if you would not be careful with it. Either that's called the temperature change, or just wasn't strong enough to hold it as you know, move it from sheet to sheet. I did go through 2 sets of them in plastic, but I just, you know, thought it would be never ending. So we decided, well, I decided to check out whether we can find somewhere where we can make these in a solid billet, and we managed to find a place where they did it for us. So luckily, and yeah, it's been good as gold at the moment. So keep you updated if anything changes on that front. But yeah, so 2 things you need parallel cut, whatever way you want to do it. Get your sheets cut parallel, same size, and then you need square where you can cut it square, and then you avoid a lot of problems, misalignments and all sorts. So once you obviously cut your sides, you can then cut one on top of each other, so 2 at a time. That's what we do when we cut the sides. We cut one on each other, so that gives us 2 sides with 1 cut, and they're the same. So that's how we cut it. So I hope you're enjoying it, and we'll catch up for you in the next video.